half miles.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I
It's
can't. Oh, maybe that's exactly what it is. Probably
That's
that.
It is.
absolutely correct, by the way. Yep, yep. So when you're taller, your steps are longer and you go. So I've compared it with other people walking and they get 10,000 steps and I get about 7,500 and we'll walk the same distance. So
Yeah. I didn't even think of that, Jane. I never even thought of it that way.
When
but
you were
you're tall,
saying
so
it, I'm like, no, I do it, and I have to like move my little legs and it's just,
I never thought of it that way. Who are we meeting with today, Taylor?
Let me check for you. I just had it pulled up.
I did not see the list.
Hi, this is Christina Gio. I'm here from the Office of the Child Advocate.
Very good.
See what our lineup is. You are, let's see. The 13th. We have Office of Correction Ombudsman, I believe. Am I right on that, Taylor?
That is correct.
And then discussion scheduled from 4:30 to 5.
I believe we added the Office of the Child Advocate afterwards, so it should be a 30-minute split for both of them.
Great.
We have the child advocate, the corrections ombudsman, and the contracting standards board, or we already did the contracting standards board?
Board. So just the two of them, right?
And then
That is correct.
And so we're waiting for the ombudsman because they were scheduled for 4, even though the child advocate is here at 4. Is that what's going on here, Taylor?
Taylor Morris, you might have the updated schedule, it sounds like. Mine.
I believe it is 4 to 4:30 is the Office of the Corrections Ombudsman, and then 4:30 to 5 is the Office of the Child Advocate.
I can't help but say, but she is here and they aren't.
so let's start with her.
Yeah. Would that be all right?
It's your show, as they say. I know this was sent to him, so I'll check in with his office in the meantime and then go from there.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, forgive me, but who is here from the child? I'm sorry, advocate's office? I'm sorry, I just saw the woman.
Hi, this is Christina Gio. I'm the
That's right.
acting child advocate, and I'm here from the Office of the Child Advocate.
Okay, thank you for coming. Do you want to make any comments about what's in front of us at the moment?
Would it be helpful if I explain what we're looking for and why, or I don't know if you want to just go into questions, or if it'd be helpful if I frame that out for you first.
Well, there's a position sheet in front of us. Does that kind of tell us what you were going to tell us?
Yes, we are asking for those 2 positions in order to be able to fulfill our statutory obligations. I'm happy to provide any information that would be helpful in relation to that. Whatever's most helpful for the committee.
I'm wrong, please tell me.
I'm just looking at your sheet. Do we have costs associated with these 2 positions?
There is in that document. I'll tell you.
Representative Reyes, could you mute yourself, please, sir?
There is, and you found it, it looks like. So the assistant child advocate position, which is one of the ones we're requesting, the salary range is 91,254 is the starting salary, and the children's services consultant starting salary is 82,845. So if they were both funded, it's 174,100.
Now, what's how many people do you currently have? I'm sorry, that information's not on the sheets in front of us.
So our current, we are staffed for 8 positions total. We currently have 1 position open, which is the child advocate position. That's our agency head position. I'm currently acting in that position. But our total count, including that open position, is 8. So we have the child advocate, the associate child advocate, 3 assistant child advocates, a staff attorney, and 2 human services consultants.
Okay. And you said you have 12 requirements. Oh, it's right there at the very top. Okay. So you have 12 mandates that you have to enforce. So with this, so you have 1 position that's currently empty. Now with these 2 positions, bring it up to 12, the total positions.
If we were given those 2 positions, we'd have a total of 10 positions.
10, I'm sorry, that's right.
Yeah.
I can add 8 and 2, okay.
And in particular, the assistant child advocate, we're looking for to assist with our facility responsibilities. So we have a responsibility to review the conditions of confinement for individuals under the age of 22, which includes a lot of DOC facilities, as well as facilities operated by CSSD. And then we also have an obligation to periodically review facilities where children may be treated, and that's pretty broad. That includes all DCF facilities. There are some DDS facilities that sometimes children are in, and we are really struggling to be able to look at those facilities. We really have the DOC and the conditions of confinement work takes a lot of time. We have 1 assistant child advocate that's dedicated to that work. So that's why we're looking for that assistant child advocate position, is to do that work. And then the children's services consultant, we're looking for to be a lower level person that can support the work of an assistant child advocate and help us with our review of DCF and our monitoring and oversight of DCF in particular. And in that document, we talk a little bit about the one consent decree ending and the oversight that was in place when that consent decree was in place, and sort of our efforts to review DCF's data and to do our own qualitative reviews. But that's why we're looking for that children's services consultant position.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? Now, last year they reported that you were looking at, is this in this part of your responsibilities? I think it was a number like 90 folks or parents who had caused harm to their children, I think even death. Is the number still up that high, or has that number become better, or is that one of the things you have to do and that's why you need more people here?
Yeah, I'm not sure that what number specifically you're talking about, but we do, our office also houses the Child Fatality Review Panel. Okay. And we review all unexplained and unexpected deaths of children. And so that, and then from time to time, depending on the circumstances, we'll do an in-depth investigation with regard to a child fatality. So the last report we issued with regard to that was an addendum with regard to the death of Liam R., who was a baby who was found murdered in the park, and the family had been involved with DCF. So we did an extensive review, and then we released an addendum a few months ago. I don't remember the exact date, but that is one of our responsibilities, is to review those fatalities and identify ways to improve the systems that serve kids. And so we continue to conduct that work as part. We have an assistant child advocate who's really dedicated to that work.
Representative Ackett, it looks like you have a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Christina, thank you for that information. So absent the individual that you're looking to hire and the mandates statutorily, can you fulfill that statutory requirement without that individual?
We are really struggling to do that. Our conditions of confinement report is about 2 years overdue. We released one piece of it in September, October. which was specific to NYI, and we are working on and trying to finalize the second piece of it, which is the 18 to 21-year-olds. And then we've still got to write the CSSD piece, which is going to take us quite some time. We're very behind on that, and it's an issue of resources. And part of the challenge for our office, in addition to sort of the amount of work that goes into those conditions of confinement reviews and reports, is that, you know, we have to kind of respond to what happens. So if there is a fatality that really demands our attention, we have to put our resources there, and then we have to sort of bump things. And so we are constantly sort of reassessing what is the most urgent fire that we should be putting our attention on. So at this point, I mean, in our audit, that was sort of one of the things that was problematic, was that conditions of confinement report was late. And so we are really struggling to meet that need, and we are concerned that we're not getting out to the facilities in the way that we believe that we should. So hopefully that answers your question. But
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Now, when in each of these new legislation that comes in, was there dollars assigned that were allocated to those asks?
no, so the conditions of confinement requirement was added. So our statute was amended in 2016 to add that responsibility. And at the time it was individuals 20 and younger. And then it was amended in 22 to add up to the age of 21, or as I said earlier, under 22. And we were not given staff at either of those junctures. And so what we did was we reassigned our existing facility person to really focus on that work. And we've tried to balance it, but it's very, very difficult for us to do the facility work that we think we should be doing.
Okay, thank you. And then the last question, Mr. Chair. As I look at the appropriations from 25, what they call as agency requested number slightly goes up. Is that the number that you requested, or was that an assigned number by OPM?
I'm not sure what number you're looking at. Is it the budget number?
Yep. So the governor's recommended is 858,793, and that looks like the agency requested number also.
Oh, I think that and our budget person, Raj Singh, is here as well. I think so. We put in budget options to request these two positions, and I believe they were not granted, and that's probably why the budget request reflects the same numbers the governor's budget, unless I'm misunderstanding, and Raj can correct me if I'm wrong.
And Raj, could you give me your agency request number, please?
I'm seeing that our budget for 2025 was $813,221.
Yep.
And that's all that was awarded for us for that fiscal year.
Correct. But what does the agency ask for the biennium coming up 26, 27? What does your agency ask?
So we asked for the additional positions that Christina is sharing on this Excel in this Word document. We asked for those. I can give you the exact number.
What I'm looking for is the overall. So let me tell you what the agency ask is in the document that's in front of us. It's 858,793, which is about 33,000 more than 25 actual, which would not cover any staff people if that's what you did. So I'm asking, what is the total number requested by the agency with the new positions that you're asking for? Is it $1 million? Is it 950? You know, because it's obviously not 858.
Right. That's right.
I'll take a look at that. Maybe I'll get you an answer before this meeting is over. Let me take a look.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
That would be helpful if we get a number of the total agency requested number so that we could build a budget with the new positions, if that's so inclined on this committee. That was all. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a good question. I was looking forward to that question. You don't know the number that you requested from OPM for this budget item, the number you guys submitted I would think that'd be something you'd have readily available. That would include these two new positions, because that must have been what your initial request was to OPM.
It is, and I'm looking to Raj. I know the two positions together was just under 175,000, but
So we just add that to the 858.
yes, the total, I'm looking
That's-
at that, the total was
Yeah.
174,100 for fiscal year 26, for the positions. And then fiscal year 27 was 184,545, and that was to reflect, the 6% salary increase. And so it would be that would be added on to the current budget,
Which was
which
you
is
said,
858.
yeah, sorry to interrupt, but we have a different number than you do, Raj. We have 824, 852, not far though, off of year 25. So we have 824, 852. And then you want to add the 176? Is that what it was, Christina?
Yes,
I apologize. I found the document. It is, we asked for additional 174,100 in FY 2026 and 184,545 in FY 2027.
540, 184, 540 what?
184,545.
Thank you. Okay, so that's off of your 20, you're just adding that off of your existing 25, which was what was your number again? 820 what?
2025, our budget for 2025 was 813,221. 813,221.
Thank you. So that's different than what we have for your 25 by about 11,000. Okay. I have no further questions, and that clarifies it for me, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions? I think that is for me as well. If nobody else has any questions, I think we are all set. We know where to find you if we have anything else to get back to you, but appreciate you taking the time.
all right. Thank you, and thank you for giving me your time. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And did the ombudsman show up yet?
Yes, he's here.
Okay. Let's begin with that person.
Hey, good afternoon.
Okay. Oh, good afternoon. If you'd like to start, I see you've given us a Excel sheet. You just want to give us the numbers and run away, or is that?
Yeah, I'll
Is it all?
I'll just provide a brief overview. The Ombudsman's office is being reconstituted after about a 15-year absence. Right now, I'm the only employee for the office. The office serves the entire incarcerated population, which is currently about 11,000 individuals in the 13 correctional facilities throughout the state. My requested budget proposal would seek to bring the office to 9 employees, including myself. My proposal splits the state into 2 districts, which is very similar to how the Department of Correction administers their oversight of prisons, District 1 and District 2. Each district would have office administrator to do intake in terms of receiving complaints, an investigator to be able to investigate complaints, an associate ombudsman that would be charged with visiting the facilities and being in the facilities 70% of their time, and then a staff attorney that would work statewide, and then a medical consultant that would also work statewide, and then also myself. The budget also includes some operational costs, some of which are almost one-time cost because we're reestablishing the office. Minor costs for public awareness to put up some laminated signs throughout the facility. Some capital costs in terms of creating drop boxes for individuals to submit physical complaints in facilities as well. is included in the budget proposal as well. And so, I was able to put this together. Did not have the benefit of having OPM assist me. So it is a bit tongue in cheek, but I'm happy to take any questions that the subcommittee may have.
Okay, these expenses that are flashing in front of us now, are those in addition to what the line item is, or is this explaining that line item in the budget?
So these would be in addition. So the governor's budget proposal funds the office at 400,000. So this proposal that I put together is in excess of that by roughly 800,000.
800,000, only 800,000?
So yeah, the governor's budget proposal is 400,000. This budget proposal that you see on the spreadsheet is about 1.2 million. That includes
Okay.
the staff and the equipment expenses and the OE expenses.
Okay. All right, can I just curious, the medical examiner for $90,000, is that an MD?
It would be it could be someone all the way up to APRN, nurse practitioner, advanced nurse practitioner.
Yeah, because I just wondered if you could get an MD for 90,000. Okay, so it doesn't
No.
have to be an MD. Okay.
No.
Okay. And now you're saying that office was being reconstructed. Were these positions there before it was deconstructed?
No.
These would be new so these weren't there 15 years ago. This is all brand new.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Representative Ackett, you have a question?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Ward. Appreciate can you get these documents to us?
Yes,
Do we have
exactly.
these sent to us?
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be great. And then backing up a little bit, could you, I guess, substantiate the reason to add the staff level, and maybe it was in a past area, or maybe it's some numbers, the need, like, certain cases, whatever you could back it up with, would be substantially helpful. And then what I'm looking at numbers wise here, it looks like in the existing line item, it still has your salary in the existing line item, and then an additional ask of 400,000. So it looks like to me it's like a 550 approximately. Am I missing that? I don't know if you get these documents, Mr. Ward.
I don't. So I'm not sure what you're referencing.
Yeah. So in the governor's recommended budget, it shows. Nope, it's just the 400,000. Okay.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah, it's
just the 400,000. You're correct. $4,058. Yep, 400,058. Okay, thank you.
Senator Austin.
Thank you. So I'm looking at this, and one of the things that we worked on since your position first was hired for was a vehicle. Are you are any of these people expected to get a vehicle, or in some way or another have a stipend for a mileage stipend? How is that being figured into all of this?
So I did include in my budget proposal on the expenses line 3 vehicles. The office does have 1 vehicle right now for myself, but my thinking is that between the 9 staff we'd be able to share the 3 vehicles, because there's some days that I'm not in a correctional facility, so happy to, somebody else in the office can use the vehicle. They'll be fleet vehicles, so not vehicles assigned to any individual, but 3 vehicles for the office. And so the vehicle lease, to my understanding, is running at about $409 a month, and the fuel cost is about $40 a month right now, is what I'm averaging.
So you're considering 3 vehicles that would be lent, that would be assigned to the office, and you have 9 staff, counting you, 9. And obviously the administrative assistants probably would never go out there, so it'd be
Right.
mostly the special investigators that would go out there.
And the associate ombuds.
And so relative to the number of cases, what do you cases per facility?
I don't have a great breakdown of per facility. Part of that is because we haven't done any widespread advertising about the office because we don't have staff yet and we're not really operational. I can say that, since I've assumed the role in September of last year, we've received approximately 450 complaints. My counterparts in other states, New Jersey is a state that I speak with frequently. They have a similar prison population similarly sized as ours. Their population's around 12,000. Ours is around 11,000. When they opened their office, they received 1,000 complaints in their first month. It tapered down over time once folks kind of got a better understanding of what the office was utilized for, and they were able to catch up. But when the office first opened up, they had about 1,000 complaints in 1 month. And so you could reasonably expect when the office opens officially, with some advertising and public awareness campaigns, that we're going to receive an initial high amount of complaints that'll maybe taper off until the couple hundred complaints monthly. But I don't have a great breakdown in terms of how many complaints are coming from each facility right now, because it's a bit skewed towards the couple facilities that I've actually been in and resolved complaints, as opposed to kind of a mass public relations campaign where everybody knows the office is open.
So you don't think that there's been enough information? I mean, I worked in corrections 21 years and something happened in one facility, every single person in the next facility knew what had happened. You don't think that a lot of people know about your office yet?
I think some people know about my office, but I don't think that the population at large knows. The majority of, I would say not the majority, but a large number of my complaints come from McDougal Walker, just because when I started, I resolved the hunger strike there. So the individuals at that facility know about my office and see the utility out of it. But for instance, Bridgeport, is a fairly large facility. So is New Haven. I don't get many complaints out of those facilities, and I just believe it's because I haven't. I've only been to both of those facilities once. I haven't resolved many cases out of those facilities, and it's not because they don't have complaints. It's just I don't think they've really been made aware that the office is open and available, and it's largely because the office is not technically fully open yet, because we don't really have staff to accommodate large scale complaints.
Thank you.
Can I ask, I think you kind of alluded to this earlier, but how do people get complaints to you? You said something about boxes in the facilities. I'm not even sure. Do inmates have access to email? Can they email you? I mean, how will the complaints get to your desk?
So once we are staffed, incarcerated individuals, they'll be able to call to the office directly from prison phones in a secure line directly to the office. They'll be able to do written complaints to the drop boxes as well. And then the majority of the complaints that I currently receive are from loved ones of folks who are incarcerated, reaching out to my office via email, which is also an available avenue, or incarcerated individuals. They also contact their counselors, and they let the counselors know that they'd like to speak to me, and we set up a time, and we set up a call on a secure line. But when the office is fully functioning, we hope they'll be able to call me from a secure line. There'll be a drop box, hopefully in every housing unit, that will have access, only access for folks from my office will be able to access the drop box. And then folks from the public who are not incarcerated will obviously be able to email or be able to call the office as well.
Thank you. So when this office was formed, maybe you have a better idea of the history. Was there any anticipation of the fact that the staffing was going to be immediately inadequate? I mean, do you have an idea what the thought process was there? Because and to see the fact that the governor's budget doesn't seem to include money for this personnel, do you have, like I said, do you have any idea of how they thought this was going to work without the money?
No, I think, when this office was operational back in 2009, it was functioning with maybe 2 or 3 people. And from what I hear from the staff, as well as folks who've been incarcerated that long, is that even with, that staffing level, that the office was not functioning at a very efficient level. And so I think when the office was reconstituted, in this current biennium, that they simply just funded it at the level it had been funded at back in 2009, which the feedback was it wasn't operating very efficiently then with only two or three staffers. And so I'm not sure what the thinking was moving forward, but I've certainly communicated with the governor's office and OPM that the current funding level wouldn't allow us to fulfill our mandate to serve 11,000 people in 13 facilities.
And the numbers are down from 1989, I'm guessing, so you're even servicing fewer people.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? No one else has any questions? Again, we know where to find you.
Yes.
One other, I'm sorry, I did have one. Where are you housed currently? Where are your offices currently housed?
Yeah, my office is at 55 Farmington Avenue.
Oh, so you're right here. Okay.
Yep.
You're not in one of the facilities. Okay. So you and elections enforcement are in the same building.
I'm in the same building as Office of Public Defender, Office of Child Advocate is in my building.
Okay.
Department of Social Services.
Okay, so I can look at your building from here. Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough.
All right. Thank you, Rep. Ryan.
Thank you. Thank you very
All right.
much.
All right.
Taylor, is that it?
That's it as far as any of the agencies coming in today.
Okay. Now we have a workshop scheduled for next Thursday. Let me look. Decision making next Thursday. Can we, Taylor, can we kind of, I don't know, find a niche maybe where we can get together before then with Senator Anwar to see, because we have a lot here. I know we only have a few state agencies, but I think we have a lot of money we want to talk about as these various agencies, offices are asking for various requirements. And maybe we want to have at least some, I don't want to say groundwork, but lay down some ideas of what we need and what we can do before we come into that meeting next week and make any final decisions. So I'll see if Senator Anwar can get together at some point between now and then anybody else who wants to join us to talk about this rather than waiting to the last minute. Senator Austin, is that your hand up from before? Did you have something else you wanted to ask?
No, my hand's up for now. I am sending out a letter with Representative Walker. Almost every subcommittee got different things sent to them that were about different bills that people had sent us that get referred to the subcommittees. And we're asking that you have a time and go through those bills too. So off the top of my head, I don't know if you got such a letter.
I don't know if I got it for this subcommittee or one of the other ones I'm on, but I know I've seen it. Yes.
So we're asking that you go through that letter, those documents, and say, this is valuable, this is not, kind of thing, so that each person who took the time to write to us actually gets somebody that looks at what they sent to us besides Tony and I sending it out. So I just wanted to have you have time to do that too.
Good enough.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, just to go back, so this is two committees, two small departments in this bracket here that their numbers aren't matching up with, or they don't even know what their numbers are on the form that we've been given. So the two recent ones was contracting standards boards. They had no clue what was on this document. And obviously, the child advocate just now didn't know what their number was going in. So how do we just, I guess that'd be the decision made me conversation, but if they don't know the numbers that are being presented, I'm a little unsure how we move forward. When I look at, the agency request isn't actually an agency requested number.
Okay, I guess I understand what you're saying. I think this is not a new problem. But I would say that we kind of work with what we have and add or not add with the other requests and make those decisions. And hopefully OFA will give us a final number once we make those recommendations. Wouldn't that be the way it would work, Taylor?
Yes,
Taylor
sir.
Morris. Yeah,
What's that?
we got to keep Taylor busy. So I think he would do the best he could to come up with the most reliable numbers. Anything else? If not, I will let folks know after I've talked to Senator Anwar when we would like to get together again to talk about these things. Because like you mentioned, there's just a lot here. And I think trying to do it in 1 hour or one afternoon
Oh, yeah.
is not going to be good.
Thank you. I'd like to be, let me know any hours and I look to make time for those, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Representative Ackett. All right. Anybody else have any questions or comments? All right, well, thank you all. Thank you, Taylor. Phoenix, appreciate you coming. And we can go now. Okay. Oh, now Senator Anwar shows up. Okay. Senator Anwar, are you online? Mention this to him. I guess he is not online. Senator Anwar? Well, I will try and find him another time to talk to him about getting together. Okay. Well, thank you.